What if I told you that the main reason your marriage is on the verge of collapse isn't what your spouse is doing wrong, but exactly what you think you are doing right? It's likely you feel like the only adult in the relationship, the martyr carrying everything on your shoulders while the other person doesn't care. But the hard truth, which needs to be said to set you free, is that your wronged hero stance is the very anchor sinking the boat. In your desperate eagerness to fix your partner, you might be, without realizing it, destroying the only bridge left between you and ensuring the end of the very thing you wish to protect. Society has sold us the illusion that marriage is a fair exchange of favors. I do my part, you do yours. But this cold accounting is exactly the poison that is killing the passion between you, drop by drop. Every time you demand attention or require change, you aren't communicating love. You're triggering a defense mechanism in your partner's brain that generates immediate repulsion. You want to be loved, but you end up acting like a tax collector knocking at the door. As long as you maintain this demanding posture, a genuine connection will be impossible. In this video, I'm going to hand you the map to get out of this maze. I'm going to teach you how to abandon the victim role and assume absolute loving leadership in your home. You will discover how a simple shift to a service attitude done with intentional generosity and no hidden agenda has the almost supernatural power to disarm wars and reignite affection, often in a matter of days. If you have the courage to face the truth and adjust your realistic expectations to save your family, stay with me until the very last second. What I'm going to reveal here separates the couples who merely survive from those who truly thrive. You know exactly how it is in the beginning. We walk down the aisle or decide to move in together with heads full of dreams, thinking the other person exists basically to fill our voids, right? It's that old story of thinking marriage is a magic box of automatic happiness. We forget to align our realistic expectations and end up falling into the what's in it for me trap, treating the spouse almost like an employee of our emotional well-being, which is a silent danger. The truth, plain and simple, is that we often enter the game focused on our own navel. Will she make me happy? Will he fulfill me? This consumer mentality blocks any chance of a genuine connection. It's like trying to withdraw money from the bank without ever making a deposit. The account just doesn't balance, and we stand there, card in hand, waiting for a miracle that doesn't depend on luck, but on a totally different posture. I took years to realize this myself, I confess to you. I used to look sideways and think, man, I'm such a nice husband. Where's my reward? It's funny and kind of tragic how we measure love by what we receive, not by what we give. That intentional generosity that changes the home's climate was missing. If you are in this phase of, I did my part, where is yours? Open your eyes, because the ground is becoming fertile for weeds to grow and suffocate affection. Imagine planting a seed and yelling at the dirt, grow already, I'm in a hurry. It doesn't work like that, does it? In a relationship, it's exactly the same. Without a constant service attitude, we become just two strangers splitting bills and demands. We stop seeing the other as a life partner and start seeing them as an obstacle to our own satisfaction. It's a vicious, tiring cycle where no one yields, and in the end, everyone loses. To get out of this, you need to understand that mature love isn't a commercial barter. Try observing today. How many times did you do something expecting immediate change, like a compliment or a favor? This petty accounting kills passion little by little. True loving leadership begins when we tear up this spreadsheet of who did more and decide to play on the same team without constantly keeping score on the scoreboard of hurt. But look, when the penny doesn't drop in time, the scenery changes fast and gets ugly. That dream of happiness turns into accumulated frustration that is hard to swallow. And do you know what happens when we realize, deep down, that the other person won't cater to our selfish whims the way we imagined? Disappointment knocks hard on the door, bringing along some very heavy feelings that, if we don't take care of, when the partner's performance falls below what we idealized, the scenery changes quickly. that beautiful hope doesn't just turn into sadness, it ferments into anger, the hostility that hangs in the air like a heavy cloud. It's the moment when the lack of realistic expectations pays its price, and we feel entitled to be offended, to frown, and to punish the other with our silence or snappy answers, turning the home into a minefield where any false step explodes into an argument. Have you ever caught yourself looking at your spouse and thinking, how could you do this or not do this to me? This pain is born because we project our happiness on someone else's performance. Instead of cultivating a genuine connection based on who the other is, we focus on what the other does or fails to do. It's like buying a movie ticket expecting an action film and getting furious because a drama is playing. The problem wasn't the movie, it was us entering the wrong theater thinking we controlled the schedule. I'll give you a practical example that happens in almost every home. You arrive tired from work expecting to find the house organized or dinner ready, but you find a mess and dirty dishes. The automatic reaction isn't to ask, "Honey, did you have a hard day?" but to explode or isolate yourself in the bedroom. In that moment, intentional generosity goes out the window, and the internal judge enters, the one who points the finger and condemns without giving a chance for defense, creating an icy wall between the two. This stance of, "I am hurt, so I will hurt you back," is toxic and contagious. We stop having that service attitude that nourishes love and start acting like ruthless creditors, charging extremely high emotional interest. Hurt becomes our pet. We feed it every day, remembering every failure, every forgetfulness, building a mental dossier against the person we promised to love. This drains the couple's vital energy. Without noticing, we lose the chance to exercise loving leadership over our own emotions. Instead of taking responsibility for what we feel, we outsource the blame. "I am angry because you disappointed me." Do you see the danger? We put the key to our peace in the other person's pocket. And when we feel wronged, the natural tendency isn't to sit and talk calmly, but to go on the attack to try and force change by force. And this is where things go off the rails for good, because nobody likes feeling in debt or lacking all the time. When hurt and anger take over, communication stops being a bridge and becomes a weapon. We set aside affection and start using a very common but disastrous tactic, thinking if we squeeze hard enough, the other will finally fit into our mold, and that's when those phrases start to appear. Have you ever heard yourself saying phrases like, "Why don't you do this? You know it's important to me." It's almost a ready-made script for a dramatic soap opera. When we enter demand mode, we think we're just being clear about what we want, but in truth, we're suffocating any chance of a genuine connection. It's that desperate attempt to control the other through guilt, using words that seem harmless but carry a huge weight of emotional manipulation on their backs. Think with me. No one, absolutely no one, likes to feel they have a gun pointed at their head, even if that gun is just a frown or a deep sigh of disappointment. Making demands based on feelings like, "How could you do this knowing how I feel?" is a dangerous game that pushes intentional generosity away. The spouse stops doing things out of love and starts doing them, when they do, just to avoid a fight, and that sours the milk of any relationship. Let's bring this to real life. Let's say you really want him to plan a romantic weekend. Instead of inspiring it, you demand, "You never take me out, it seems like you don't care." Do you see the difference? The demand creates an immediate defensive wall. If you swapped that harsh requirement for a light invitation, maybe the result would be different. Adjusting realistic expectations means understanding that your partner doesn't have a crystal ball and that no one truly changes based on yelling or blackmail. This strategy of beating until they learn is flawed because it violates a basic principle of being human, the desire for freedom. When we feel forced to do something, the natural will to please disappears instantly. True service attitude does not survive in an environment of marital dictatorship. You might even get momentary obedience acting this way, but you will never get the other person's heart entirely. It's like trying to hold sand with full force. The harder you squeeze, the more it escapes through your fingers. Thinking you can mold your partner's behavior and character through annoying insistence is exactly the opposite of loving leadership. Leaders inspire by example, tyrants demand by force. If you are spending your vital energy trying to fix the other by force, stop right now. It's tiring and useless, like trying to dry ice. You urgently need to get out of this relationship foreman role, where one commands and the other, disgruntled, obeys, or pretends to obey just to have peace. And the worst part is, after so many frustrated attempts to manipulate someone else's behavior, we get exhausted, hopeless, and ask ourselves, why does nothing work? The answer is simple, but might be hard to swallow, because we are using the wrong tool for the job. There's a much more potent path taught for millennia by great masters, a total reversal of logic that most ignore, but which has the real power to unlock even the most closed heart.
The turning point happens when we stop asking and start delivering. Sounds crazy in a world that preaches me first, right? But true wisdom, the ancient kind we see in the lives of great masters, says that to be great, one must serve. Jesus taught this clearly. Whoever wants to be a leader must be a servant first. This is the essence of loving leadership. It's having the courage to step down from the pedestal of ego and pick up the towel to serve, totally reversing the power dynamic of the relationship. Many people confuse having a service attitude with being a doormat or weak, but I'll tell you, it's exactly the opposite. You need to be very much a man or a woman to put the other's well-being above your wounded pride in the middle of a crisis. Serving isn't erasing yourself. It's a strategic and noble choice of someone who knows what they want. When you decide to make your spouse's life easier instead of complicating it with demands, you take control of the emotional temperature of the house. Want to see how this works in practice? Read The Servant by James Hunter. It's a fantastic book that teaches that leading is caring. But don't just stay in theory. Apply intentional generosity now. If he hates washing dishes, you wash them today without making a face and without throwing it in his face later. If she is stressed with work, bring a glass of water or give a foot massage without ulterior motives. Small acts of kindness have a nuclear power to destroy barriers. When we act like this, something almost magic happens. The other person's defenses drop. It is physiologically impossible to remain armed and hostile against someone who is treating you well for free, without asking for anything. This posture creates a genuine connection that no 3-hour relationship discussion could achieve. You stop trying to win the argument and start winning the person's heart, showing that you care more about their happiness than about your own rightness. This requires, of course, maintaining realistic expectations. You don't serve to receive applause or for the other to change instantly. You serve because it is the ingredient that nourishes the relationship. It's planting a tree knowing the shade will come, even if it takes a little while. By serving, you break the vicious cycle of selfishness and invite the other, through silent and embarrassing in a good way, to join this dance of mutual care as well. Now, I know talking is pretty, but execution is what separates mediocre couples from extraordinary ones. Knowing that serving is the secret is only half the way. The other half is getting your hands dirty precisely when the desire is to cross your arms and turn your back. And you might be asking yourselves, okay, I get the theory, but where do I start today, right now? Well, the answer is much closer than you imagine, in a simple action that knowing the secret and not using it is like having a treasure map and deciding not to leave the couch. Real change in your marriage doesn't happen in the head or in intentions. It happens in the hands, in action. Try doing something today, right now, that you know the other would love. Don't wait to feel like it to act. Feeling often follows action, not the other way around. It is the service attitude leaving the paper and becoming life, proving that love is a verb, not just an abstract noun. Think about those little things your partner keeps commenting on. Maybe it's fixing that faucet that has been dripping for months, or maybe it's preparing that special dish on a random Tuesday for no apparent reason. If you don't know how to cook, how about organizing a surprise delivery of his or her favorite food? The what matters less than the why. Actions speak much louder than speeches and demonstrate an intentional generosity capable of disarming any accumulated bad mood. Never underestimate the nuclear power of small things. An affectionate note hidden in a bag, coffee brought to bed on a Sunday, or taking on a boring chore for the other are potent seeds of transformation. When you plant deliberate kindness, the inevitable harvest is a genuine connection. The ambience of the house changes, the air gets lighter, and that heavy climate of demanding dissipates like fog when the strong sun comes out. But pay attention so you don't fall into the trap of immediacy. It's no use doing this just once and expecting a trophy or a medal of honor. The secret is in consistency, not sporadic intensity. It's like going to the gym. One isolated workout doesn't make you strong, but daily discipline does. Maintain realistic expectations. The goal here is to create a new culture in the relationship where serving one another is the natural standard and not an exception used only to put out fires or apologize. Assume the loving leadership of your own story today. Don't keep waiting for the other to start so you can reciprocate. That is a child's game. Someone has to be the adult in the room and take the first courageous step to break the cycle of selfishness that has been undermining the relationship. Be that person. By serving, you show strength of character, emotional maturity, and a love that goes far beyond pretty words written in a birthday card. Developing this muscle of service has much more potential to transform the marriage than years of demands and endless relationship talks that lead nowhere. Take the practical test. Choose something good to do for your spouse today and observe their reaction. You'll realize that by unlocking this door of service, a new horizon opens before your eyes, revealing a fundamental truth that now the decision is in your hands. All this knowledge about service attitude is worth nothing if it stays locked in the drawer of theory. Love doesn't survive on intentions, it feeds on actions. The question that remains isn't if your marriage can be saved, but if you have the humility necessary to take the first step. I want to challenge you to be the agent of transformation in your home today. What will be your first action of intentional generosity? What will you do in the next 24 hours to surprise your partner and break the ice cycle? Leave your public commitment to change here in the comments. I want to see who is really willing to fight for their family and who is just passing by. But pay attention, there's a subtle trap. You can wash all the dishes in the world and serve tirelessly, but if your spouse has a specific need to see and touch love in another way, all your effort might go unnoticed. There's a type of visible sign that for many people is worth more than 1,000 acts of service, and if you ignore this, you might continue feeling like you're talking to the walls. I revealed exactly what this tangible element is and how to use it without looking like you're buying affection in this video appearing on your screen now. It is the missing piece to complete the puzzle we started assembling today. Don't waste time trying to guess. Click there now to understand how to materialize your love in a way he or she will never forget. And, of course, if you want to keep receiving these loving leadership strategies to armor your relationship against any crisis, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. I'll see you there in the other video. See you soon.